Okay. I think it's working now. Alrighty, I think we are live. And I'm not muted this time, which is great. Hello, hello. Got a bunch of stuff on the agenda for today. Last night, I pretty much went pretty in depth with the priorities for combat and just making like a bunch of quality of life changes. So we're going to be implementing a bunch of the fixes. Hello, Confusion Wood, how are you? You're on time today? Yes, sir. 11:30 Eastern every day. We're going to be doing some UI stuff today. Some visual effects, stuff like that. Going to be adding in some camera shake to certain abilities as well. What else do we got? Ah, yes, and we also have to add in the effect for when we deal damage and healing. We have to have like a different like hit marker and like sound for both of those instances. So we're going to be making some functionality to determine that for us on if we're actually hitting an ally or not. So I did a little bit of the work last night for it. I can kind of show what we have so far. Oh no, 800 euros, poor RIP. But that's the cost of a car. I'm doing just fine. Feel pretty good. And that's the damage indicator, but for like healing abilities. Just as a green hit marker. What we want to do is also have like text, or like green text that spawns above the player's head when we actually heal them. So if I grab my like enemy client here, I'll just throw out some abilities here. Right now we're healing them, but we don't have like a visual indicator of like how much we're actually healing for. That's kind of what we want to add. It actually shouldn't be too bad to get that set up, I'm being honest. We already have like a lot of the functionality built in already. Essentially it's just we take the floating damage text and we just change it. So I have something that looks for damage or incoming damage here. I want to print out this damage text and see what's actually coming in. Because technically we already have something that's determining if we're healing them or not. Actually wanted to see where this is being used. Yeah, so we have local damage done here. This should be able to pass in a negative value. Wait, Johnny, are those the new emotes? Johnny 1095 Primetime John. I like the naming of them. It rolls off the tongue. Let's grab the enemy. And we want to grab a filter for the logs here. So you can see we're sending in negative values. I don't know why. Health color getting changed somewhere else. Like, this should be true. Weird. I'm pretty sure I had this working before as well. Oh, they're defaulted to that? You can't change them? Really? Health color set. Something wrong with the color? No, this is what it should look like. What is preventing the spawn? Southern Sediment Workplace? We're like, you're good at this. You come in and say the most random things I've ever seen in my life. But how am I? I'm doing fantastic. Made a lot of progress last night. Yesterday, for whatever reason, I was just on a roll. I stayed up probably till about like 2 in the morning. Programming, and I was just like, I was in the zone, man. You'd have to get a crowbar to get me off the fucking keyboard last night. But I was just going through so many bugs and just crushing all of them. It felt so good. There was one problem I ran into with gameplay cues, and I probably spent 4 hours fixing it. And when I finally got the solution, it was like the most... Johnny D, I have a crowbar. I see you're on Twitch chat and the YouTube chat now, Johnny. What am I doing today? We're gonna give some love to floating damage text. What we're gonna be doing. Weird thing is, I don't know why this is not spawning. Like, is the hit location off? That shouldn't have like any effect on this. Problems from a checkbox. That's how it usually happens. You know what my problem was? Oh man, this was like, it was pissing me off, honestly. So I was working with gameplay effects yesterday, and I was trying to get to the gameplay cue that's stored inside this gameplay effect. Just to give you like kind of a demonstration of what I'm talking about. If we go into this gameplay effect here, right? We have this gameplay cue at the bottom. So you would think, okay, it's not that hard, just got to go into wherever this is stored, grab it, we're good to go. Well, my dumbass for hours was trying to access the gameplay effect here and try to grab the gameplay cue here. It doesn't exist here. I forgot that I was using something called a component in here that applies an additional effect, and that effect has that gameplay cue in it. So I was looking down here when in reality I needed to look where this additional effect is being applied and then grab that gameplay cue. So I spent hours trying to do that until it hit me that, oh fuck, I'm not looking at the right effect. But I finally figured it out, and the whole point in doing that is so we could have a synchronized view of burn stacks on a single target. So if I go to my client here, right? What we want to have happen is at 4 stacks, we want the fire on the target to turn blue. Fuck me, I broke it somehow. What did I do? I literally had this working last night too. Gotta be something dumb, right? Yes, it is something dumb. I think I know what it is. Oh, yeah. I forgot I did this. So another thing I did was, if like certain spells have like a stacking effect like that, I actually put a check in, or like a U property in, so we could determine if we need to look for one or not, because it saves a little bit of computation power if we don't have to look for this, since we have to go through like 3 different layers of data to find it. Yeah, so I made a little checkbox here that says damage effect, spec handle, has like additional applications that it needs to look for. So if we check this, now it should work. I look like a cheese monger. I have no idea what that means. But thank you. Okay, now. There we go. Synchronized view. But yeah, having that type of like visual effect is super important, because the way combos work is you're going off of that visual feedback, which is something that I'm like really trying to hone in on in the next update for this. So there's going to be a lot of those. Yeah, it's just weird that the X isn't spawning in for healing. I wonder why. The only thing that I can think is causing an issue here is like the hit location. Is this incorrect? Oh, you know what it is? Found it, I think. We were scaling the size of this by a negative value. It was not using the converted value that I had here. Are we using this anywhere else? No. Okay. Now this should work. A cheesemonger is a person whose job is to produce many types of cheese. The more you know. Alright, so let's damage ally here. Another thing that I actually added was overhealing. So it actually will only heal the perfect amount of health to get the character to max health. So you could see at the last point there that the healing that we provided was only 14, not 18 like the other auto attacks were. That's because we do a small calculation before sending it over the network. Want to know how the Super Soaker was invented? I actually know that one. But go ahead. What do you got? another thing off the checklist here. We do want to add like camera shake stuff to the game as well. Oh, another thing we need to check for is for support abilities. Making sure that you cannot target make sure you cannot target enemies with support abilities. Because that actually was pretty annoying during playtest. NASA scientist was working on a cool thing for a machine. Thought it was boring, so he used one of his designs to make a water gun. That's the first step America took to become as armed with guns as it is now. Crazy follow-up statement. Hey, howdy. How you doing? Alright. So the way we're locking on the targets right now is we're setting pretty much like an overlay on them. And we're using this variable here called direct target character. And we're just sending out pretty much like a line trace and grabbing the first thing that we see. I'm assuming you mean cowboy response. Yeah, and we set the overlay material here to the dynamic one that we created in the beginning. Now, when we call set target character, we want to check to make sure that the target character that we're trying to grab is not on our team unless we... Or we want to make sure that we're not targeting enemies if the thing we're trying to do is only meant for allies. So we already have something here where we're checking for teams and setting like the correct color for that. So we can just make another check in this pretty easily. So I'm going to press Control K and then O, make a copy of this. So I can go down to where we actually set this parameter. So when we're looking to actually create a spell here, we go through a lot of checks and we kind of have like a validation call stack that makes sure that we have all the information we need in order to do our spell cast. So that could be like spawning like a target actor, which is kind of like that blue model that you see in the game. It could be like projection for projectiles. So it's kind of like the arch of like where the spell would land if you casted it, all that stuff. So I need to go into where we are setting up our direct targeting and add one additional variable there that will allow us to determine if we are targeting an ally or an enemy with the spell, or if we could target both. Doing all right. Doing some brainstorming for level design as well. Rose here acting like he is in a Texas bar talking to his buddy. He's my buddy. We're all friends here. I actually am too brainstorming some level design ideas. The next one I'm making is going to be kind of like a desert type map. So that's going to be pretty fun making that. Okay. So here we have something called the current spell model direct targeting type. This is what we would want to use. Yeehaw. Damn right, Johnny. I think we're setting this in each instance. Yeah, here we go. Spawn direct targeting actor. So you can see we're setting all these variables right here, so we can use them later on. Now, if we go back to this, we can do some checks. You can also look at the hierarchy of this, because enums are basically just numbers represented by names. So if I wanted to do kind of like a greater than less than check, I could do that as well. I could also order these in a way that will allow me to do a more efficient check for this too. Because if we do, or if we have both as the first option here, we could basically say like, okay, as long as this is like greater than or equal to both, then it can do either things. And if we put ally at the last spot here, we could check for that as well. Basically checking to see if the less than. If you need ideas for maps, here you go. Just found out from my research as well. So YouTube like blocks like chats, and I don't know why. Is it community moderation? Able to change that? The thing is, I don't like block links or anything either, so I don't know why it does that. If you can link it to me on Discord, I can check it out then. But no Texas bar. Time to pull out my flintlock on this. Dyson logos, blog, maps. Let me save that. We got here. Huh. Interesting. So it just gives you a kind of like a floor plan of maps. I can put it in Discord. Let me join first. You should be able to join just by clicking the link in the description. Shouldn't gatekeep you out of the community. Actually pretty cool. I'm gonna bookmark this one. Happy Dev is Canadian maple syrup boy. Why do you think he's Canadian? Actually, the ordering of this. Yeah, so we're basically saying if our direct targeting type is ally or both, we can do this portion here. I don't know if I want to do this check twice. I think we can probably do something like a boolean that we use to see if they're on the same team or not. Like that. Well, I guess I'm a global citizen now. Sappy equals maple syrup. Canada equals maple syrup. You should proudly accept being Canadian because free healthcare. Yeah, but inflation is too high in Canada. Side 2. Got a friend and we compare for prices. It costs a whole lot in Canada than US. Oh yeah, man, housing prices in Canada, dude, are fucking insane. I was just browsing the internet late at night, and I went down this like rabbit hole of like comparing like house prices in like certain countries and shit. And Canada has extremely high housing costs. It's actually insane. So a couple things we want to think about when we're doing this is we don't want the direct target character right here to actually go through if we don't meet this criteria here. So we would actually set this last. Same with this here, actually. We would want to do this after we actually check for what team they're on. Actually don't know why we're doing this check here. I'm gonna leave it just because it doesn't really affect anything that we're doing on the inside. How high is the cost for like a 2-story house that can fit 10 people? Wow, 10 people? I mean, I'm looking to buy a house soon, and the average home in the area that I live in is like, fucking Christ, like $500,000 or something. Insane. And then on top of that, you got interest rates of like 7% or higher right now. So it's not affordable by any means. The cash rates for housing is still super high, but you also have like super high interest as well. So it's a double whammy. Kind of gonna do something where maybe like a switch statement actually. Right, we can actually check for cases here. So we can use the first case, like enemy. Never forget your brakes. Not like it matters for default, but still. I'd want to know if we defaulted on this, because that means our direct targeting type is not set. And we defaulted. A friend of his, oh wow, I'm not gonna try and pronounce that. Bought a house for 800,000. Holy shit. So Mike, how much would it cost in Canada? How much would it cost in Canada for a house? It's almost like 1.5 times more expensive than the US currently, which is pretty ridiculous. 4-bed house, 2-story. Yeah. Yeah, so if like the price for that type of house in my area would be about like 500 grand. For Canada, 800,000 sounds definitely right up that alley. So we're just gonna make cases here. One for ally, enemy, and then both. So if we're looking to apply this to an enemy actor, we want to make sure that we're not on the same team. And if we're not on the same team, then we can do this. We're using trace actor here, but honestly, I think we should make oh, that's a reference to a pointer. We're not changing anything on trace actor, I don't believe, besides the overlay component on them once we move them over. Like these right here. This should all be getting set at the bottom. Or after everything's done. You know, we could actually do this outside. So the reason I'm saying that is because enemy, ally, and both are all going to call this no matter what. So we don't have to like repeatedly copy and paste this into like both here. Since it's going to happen regardless, we can just do the check there. What this should do is this should actually set the direct target character. But we're gonna have to do the check anyways when we do it like this. Yeah, so there's no point. Gotta do it anyways. Where are you located? Must be nice. How's the situation up there? He's asking you a question, my friend. I want you to know I'm exited. What do you mean by that, sir? And both, we just don't really care. Definitely a more efficient way to do this. Okay. So we do this switch statement here. I mean, technically what we can do is make a temporary actor that we set null pointer. And if it meets this criteria, the temporary actor pointer will be assigned the trace actor. And at the end of this, we're just going to have direct target character equal the actor there. Or alternatively, we can just do this. Then we can do this part here at the very end. This actually has to happen here. So if we have a current target that we're locked onto, but we want to change it over to a new target, we're actually removing this overlay off the old target. Oh, you're saying you're excited to ask. Did I watch the new Planet of the Apes movie? Not yet, but I will. Definitely will. Just short on time. When we're calling the set direct target, are we actually looking to see if trace actor is valid? It must be, right? Yes, okay. Gonna make an emoji in the chat. I don't know if that Nightbot thing actually got deactivated or not. I haven't really tested that shit out. Okay. So set this, remove it there. There is a world where we don't actually have a trace actor, and better safe than sorry. Sorry for the weird question. But when I was young, did I share a computer with someone? Sort of. We had multiple computers in the house, but I'm also a brother, or like I'm one of 4 children. I'm the oldest of them, so there's only 3 computers in the household. I say only, but like my dad was like a gamer, sort of, so he had multiple computers so we could all play games together. You're not young anymore? Well, I am 28, so not too young. What are the specs of the current PC I have? I have a Ryzen 3700X. I have a Ryzen 3700X CPU. I have a RX 6900 XT graphics card, 32 gigs of RAM, and a 2 terabyte solid state hard drive. I didn't do anything, man. All I did was put an A in chat. You and weapons, my guy. Every day. You just want to pull out a gun. I think this all looks pretty good. This should stop the... This should stop the spells from being able to target allies when they shouldn't. Just the whole point here. What we do want to actually have happen is set this to be null pointer before we select this model. Because at the end here, if we default, right, we do not want to grab the old character again and set all this information. We also probably want the hit result to also get reset. I mean, technically I can just call it reset. I don't think I have to create a new struct for that. I don't think we actually want to preserve anything. Message retracted. I hope to have 28. are you? Hopefully that's not a weird question to ask. Oh, 34, not much, 20 is better. Honestly, this probably isn't a hot take, but like after 21, all feels the same. Actually, maybe 26 because your insurance goes down in price. Your car, but that's pretty much it. Dude, I'm not doing anything. It's all you, brother. Also, holy shit. This must have been connected to a lot of stuff. You're gonna get an auto timeout if you spam. And it's not something I could do, it's the Nightbot. I think it detects like multiple messages in a row. Doing a little bit of cleanup. I don't know, he gets like this around 12 o'clock. Whoa. Yeah. No, no, no. No, 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 no. That's probably one of the craziest things you've done so far. Gotta calm down, buddy. We got a crash. Okay. 341. What do we got? Oh. Yeah, we're not doing a check for correct target after this. Which we can't set it if it... Actually... Probably have to make... The thing is, like, we're setting null pointer here, and for whatever reason we have this check. I don't know why I put this check here. Gonna remove this. So, okay, I mean, like, this function is from 3-4 months ago, probably. I was checking to see if they had an overlay material set. For whatever reason. But I'm also checking to see if set here. Yeah, we have to kind of redo this function a bit. Maybe I don't know this then. He just started typing the, or let's just say he got creative with his spelling. It's a way to put it. And when I say creative, I mean like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 lobbies back in like 2010 creative. If you catch my drift. Yeah. Back in the yeah, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. It's the old the old lobbies, like the Wild West, where for whatever reason they allowed you to talk to the enemy team in between matches. And there was a lot of stuff said. You can't say man, you were getting a little bit crazy, brother. Yeah, I don't think we actually, I don't think we nulled that out. I said the N-word because it's part of your culture, used to be normal 60 years ago. What? In that same statement you said, used to be, and 60 years ago. That is double my lifetime. My god, look at that. Nightbot did something. It was so delayed though. Alright man, I'll see you in 7. Game kind of looks like Valheim, not gonna lie. Sorta, kinda. It, I love Norse mythology, so I wanted to make like a game that was kind of like spells and magic, but also like you're kind of like Vikings that use magic. It's a good way to describe it, I guess. And I also love the show Avatar: The Last Airbender, so I added in a bunch of the different elements to the game. They can use, you know, like earth, fire, all that shit for your abilities. See, the overlay material is not getting set. Let's see if it's the switch itself or it's one of the parts down here that's having a problem. I'm gonna put a couple different parts here. If we're looking for the enemy, we can't be on the same team. Does this. Let's add a little bit of control into this so we can see what's happening inside our function. Another way to do it is to go into debug, but that is usually slow as shit. And for a problem like this, I don't see the need. Filter out all the garbage here. That's our ally. Did I not live code? No, I did. Okay, so what's failing? Is it failing to even get to this point? No shot. Really? Wait, why are we testing out direct target character here? Why are we not testing trace actor that we're sending in? Makes sense, does it? I just noticed that actually. Here, let's try again. Okay, we got overlay. Oh, so our spell is actually not set correctly. Go to our data table. Actually, I don't know if I moved this parameter over to our data table yet. No, doesn't look like it. Not ally. Enemy only. Using the visibility channel. So what should happen is should only be able to set the overlay. Yeah. On an enemy. So that gets called. But at the bottom here, this is inside our switch statement, isn't it? God, God damn it. Yeah, okay. Alright. We're good. I think the reason I had this here is I wanted to stop doing this check if we were looking at the same actor, but I already have that check outside of this. Oh, makes sense. Patch. Nice. Yep. No highlighting for our team either. Sweet. Kind of calming sitting here. Remember trying to do a game as a beginner, had hopes for working with 3D and C++, ended up working with blueprints in a simple 2D game. You also, hey, you got to start from somewhere. The good thing about like what we have access to in this day and age, we can pretty much learn anything we want if we just commit to it. Because I mean, honestly, the internet has like everything you need to learn programming. I mean, shit, we have forums where like people with like decades of experience go on there and answer questions for people that are getting fresh into the industry. So we just have like a giant time capsule of information that we have access to in seconds. Almost died even working with blueprints. That's why you look like a magician to me. Keep up the work, bro. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Not a magician, but I'm here to help people. So any questions you got for me, you know, feel free to ask. Trying to get more people involved with game development and coding in general. Ooh. My crit chance actually didn't get affected there. So this ability should be giving my character 100% critical chance when cast. So it's reading the effect and the duration. Spawning, checking team IDs, setting all that stuff. Applying initial overlap. That's weird. It sees my character during the apply overlap event, but it did not do the application of the spell. You fix one thing, you find something else. Life. Where is my spell application? Here it is. Oh, wait a minute. I think I know what it is. Yeah, get overlapping actors. So I noticed that our apply overlap event was actually triggering twice in some instances, and I found out that the way that we were calling apply overlap was making it so if two different types of collision happened, it would actually call apply overlap event twice. So the way I'm trying to blockade that from happening is by using the ignored actors T-array and storing those actors in there. And when we call this, we look in there to see if that actor is within this list, and we will just do an early exit. I look like a coat rack. I do not know what to say to that. So we just have to use a different T-array here to iterate through our stuff. It's probably how this is going to have to happen. So we just make a temporary one. Does its thing, iterates through. And we just want to... Now we don't have a T subclass of that we want to look through. The class filter. I was thinking of using that, but the thing is with this apply initial overlap, there are cases where we're going to actually hit other spells and geometry collections, which is why I have this here. This actor get component by class. You know what's actually super dangerous? Not seeing if actor is valid when calling this. Technically, it's not an early exit. I'm gonna recompile this. While it's doing that, I'm gonna go fill my water up real quick. Be right back in like 2 minutes. Okay. Yeah. We did this for a very particular reason. Yeah, okay. It was because our AoE effect wasn't actually being applied to the character. I called it. Flip our debug real quick. Crit chance is what we're looking at. Yeah, okay, it's working. I did notice one thing. Our hit marker got called. Huh. Fuck. How do I not have that happen? Well, that's kind of tough. For that kind of ability, I really don't need a hit marker. Gotta get rid of it. Let's think here for a second. You're actually applying it down here. Really don't want to add another Boolean check to this. I mean, it's like a super efficient way to do it, but like our spell functionality is like getting really up there. This is where we're calling the hit markers as well. So we can actually save a bit of time if we avoid doing this RPC to the client. Yeah, I mean, we just want to skip over it. I guess, like... Okay, so my brain goes to a couple different places when looking at this. First thing is, we're iterating over all the gameplay tags that are attached to this effect, right? So, I'm like, okay, we could probably just put the tag onto the abilities that we want to call this on, and if it's not on there, then we don't call it. That's a pretty efficient way to do it. But then again, like, this isn't always going to hit, because there are cases where we're looking at different types of effects that we're applying. So you kind of want to segment things into like their own sections, and you don't want them to like rely on each other like that. That's why it's like I'm hesitating to actually do that part. I actually want to turn this into its own function, if I'm being honest. I'm just probably going to do it now. What do we need to make that happen? We need the gameplay effects spec. Oh, and the target ACS for it. See here. We want to apply the hit marker. Gameplay queue. Like that. Shit. I'll just make a boolean for now. If I find a better way to do this, I'll do it in the future. I'll look into that tonight, honestly. By default, this is going to be true, because almost all of our abilities use this. The only ones that don't are a select view. So I'm going to shut down, compile again one more time. And we're just going to go into the abilities that will not use this feature and turn it off. Okay. The plan in the future, by the way, all of these parameters for this spell functionality, I want to put into a struct that we actually place into a data table, so everything is like centralized. So whenever we're changing any values, we don't have to open up like 30 different blueprints to get the job done. Started moving some things over, but There's a, there's a hell of a lot more stuff. That's for sure. So we do not want hit markers to apply on this ability. I think it's like the only one in the pyromancy tree that doesn't require it. Druid probably has a couple. I know this one definitely doesn't need it. This is a an AoE buff that you give to your allies and yourself. Increases like movement speed, damage resistance for a short period of time, like 8 seconds. Say short, but like 8 seconds in combat is actually a lot. That's why it's an ultimate ability. This one doesn't need it either. Right now we're just turning off hit markers for certain buff spells that are AoE. There's actually one more in here I forgot. Clarity. Actually, technically, shit, this one's on the fence because this is a projectile that you shoot out, and what it does is it drops down kind of like an area of effect that will increase the damage that your teammates do when they get hit by it. Maybe, yeah, so having that feedback is probably a good thing for that, since it's a projectile. If you forgot something, a bug will be there. Oh, I expect it. Honestly, I embrace it at this point. I've definitely cleaned up a lot of shit though in the past couple days. I know I just looked at this, but that's embrace. No, I need the other one. Just want to double check that I turned this off. Bad friends? Yeah, they keep you honest though. They keep you honest. Not bad. I'm also running, if it looks stuttery, it's because I'm running 3 different instances of the game itself. This fucking bug. How is this happening? Thank God this actually came back. Oh, damn. Wait, hold on. I can live code it in. We're good. I was like, shit, I think I removed the logs for this. But see how the numbers are pointed away from the character? What should be happening is they should be mimicking the actual rotation of the character that's shooting the projectiles, but these aren't. I want to see what value for their yaw on the F rotator they're actually pulling. I can finally catch this shit in the act. Just want to know what the hell is causing it. Gotta go to where we're actually spawning our floating damage text. Should be getting the actor's rotation that's calling the RPC. This is a cool thing about live coding when it actually works, is I can just pause the game, put some code in, compile it, run or during runtime, and then continue the game and get these logs in. I'm gonna put the filter down too. Wrong thing. My live coding. Patch successfully linked. Alright, you bastard. What data did you pull? You fucker. Or I could do it. Damn, as soon as live coding went through. I'm leaving that log in. I'll catch that next time. It's really fucking random when it happens. How's our rotation that crazy though? And that's hit location. Okay, what was that to say? Actually, is it when like... So rotation gets really fucking weird when you hit around like with the 180s because of the flip that it has to do. So I wonder if it's... I wonder if it has to do with the yaw being 180. Does this actually flip it to like an F-quad or something during conversion? So when we're spawning this with parameters, I want to know what the rotation. There's no attached parent. This. Yeah, it's turning it to an F-quad. F-quads get, finicky. The word I would put. When you start messing with, certain rotation values. It can be pretty annoying. I just want to see if I can have it spawn in like that again. It's not going to happen. And that sucks. Maybe I can put like a G engine log or something on the screen so I can determine my rotation. And when it's right at like 180, I can do an attack. But I think that's getting maybe a bit too obsessive. God damn, do I want to get rid of that problem. Just leave the log. Need that anymore. This. Don't need that. All the other ones are fine. Okay. We got a couple things we gotta do here. I do want to make a camera shake gameplay cue. Oh, another thing we have to do, forgot to put this on this list, is we have to have a cleanup function for our gameplay cues, like the custom ones that we made. Because I have auto destroy turned off on them because it was messing with our shit when we were trying to replicate it. It was like destroying the component way too early. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess before we do the camera shake thing, we'll probably fix up the gameplay cues so they actually remove on time. Oh, I do want to show you how I got these working with like custom data though. Because I was passing in like some variables, like I was grabbing like the ability system component on the character or the target actor that I was hitting with this gameplay cue, and I was pulling the stack count of the burn effect that we had on the character from there. But with gameplay effects, they're not replicated to all clients, they're only replicated to the server and the receiving client. So it wasn't able to accurately represent the current burn stack count on the target that we were hitting for the clients. So I was like, shit, okay, well, how can I move that information across the network without like creating unnecessary data replication? And the way I thought to do it was kind of use what they gave me, meaning parameters. Parameters has some built-in values that are replicated. Raw magnitude being one of them. This is a float that gets replicated when you call to have a gameplay cue executed. So in our base spell class, I created a function that will load up the gameplay queue with this data and then send it across the network. So if we look here, I make sure that it was successfully applied. If not, we don't do any of this. But what I'm doing is I'm going into the gameplay effect itself, I'm looking at all the gameplay cues that we have, and then I create my own params here. I don't have anything set for like the generic gameplay cues that we're currently executing, but if we go into this apply additional effect gameplay cue function, I'm setting raw magnitude by getting the stack count of the current effect that we're applying. So all clients will get a replicated visual of the burn stack count on the receiving player. So it's a little bit more of a customized way to do it. In order to have this work properly though, you have to make a custom execution calculator. So if I go into my effects, at the very bottom here, after we do all of our execution calculations, you have to make sure that you mark the gameplay cues as handled manually so they don't call anything, and you make sure that you are the one to call them. So that's what I'm doing there. So it gives me full control over all the effects in the game. And if I want to make custom ones, I can send custom data as well. So yeah, so far so good. Yeah, the onRemove function, since we're handling all this manually and I don't have an auto destroy, we have to manually call remove. And I was like thinking of a way to do this that made sense. And I think the way to do it would be to have the server have a delegate linked to the effect that's applied to a character, and when that effect expires, like the duration is like up, it will call remove onto this actor. I think another way to do it is, I believe parameters gives us access to the duration. Handle. It's const. I mean, like, we don't have access to a lot of the data that we should. I guess, like, we shouldn't, but you know what I mean. If I could somehow get duration here, that would be perfect for what I'm trying to do. I don't see an easy path to having that happen here. So yeah, we might be reliant on the server to keep track of this then. Yeah, so when we do this application, we're gonna have to like set a timer. But the thing is, the timer can't get cleared unless we have like a member variable hooked up to it. This is actually kind of tough. I'll show you the problem with having auto destroy so you can get an idea of like the scope of the problem. If I go into the effect that we're trying to apply here, gotta go to the gameplay cues, not effects. So the scorch effect. Auto destroy on remove. Sorry, I was just checking some variables and what their descriptions were. Okay. So, I'm gonna grab the other client here. Move it up to that point. Just put a couple stacks on this guy here. Oh, maybe. I mean, that actually worked. Was it actually auto-destroyed though? Did that effect actually get compiled? Man, this shit's making me look like a liar now. It was not actually working. It was calling the remove. Do I have... do. I think I have a overridden function for this though. I actually want to check the logs on the gameplay queue itself to get a better understanding of what's going on here. Let's see what this is telling us. I want to see if on remove is actually getting called at all. So this is making me like look crazy, but I swear it was having a rough ass time. When playtest? We just had a small internal one last weekend. I mean, I still have like the playtest available if you wanted to try it out today. I actually don't know how long you sent that message or how long ago you sent that message, but try it out. I just got to finish up doing all the documentation for the Steam page and everything. Then I can upload it to there and give you alpha access. That finished its live coding, right? Yes. Fuck me. I mean, it works. It wasn't yesterday. Something I did fixed it. You don't know how much easier that just made my life. That just made it so much fucking easier. Fought you, fucker. Alright. Thank God that happened. Why are you spawning in that rotation? Where's my character? Alright, you piece of shit. What variable are you getting? Where was it getting 158 from? You know what I should have did? Damn. That's a very weird, like, jump in rotation. Is something messing with my character's rotation? I don't know where it got 83 at. Clear this. I'm gonna cast an ability right away. Good. I mean, that's correct. God damn it, dude. That bug eludes me. Where are those values coming from? Five. Look at that. It's like stuck on 55. This is the root component here. It's -70 on the yaw, but here it's getting 55. Oh, sometimes it drives me crazy. I might be better off grabbing the rotation from somewhere else that's a little bit more reliable. Yeah. The way we're actually spawning in the projectiles might be the best. No, we're actually using active rotation when we spawn it in. Wow. Finally corrected here. That's kind of stumping me. I'm trying to think of like where that value would even come from. Hard locked at 55. We can use our camera component instead. I could only imagine it's a something with replication. You know what I haven't tried? I don't know if it actually happens on the clients, because every time I see it, it's on the server itself. Hard to say. Alright, so look at that. Same thing. Blocked on 151. It only happens when a new round begins. So far. I don't think I've ever ran into this bug before. It even thinks that our camera's rotation is off, and it's happening on clients too. Now it fixed itself. Beginning of a round. It like locks onto one variable. Still hasn't updated. Print out the name of the actor as well. His first 2 hits. It looks like it was pulling it from the old actor. Maybe this is only a play and editor bug. Is this one of the times where you actually have to use this? Clear it. Fuck. Oh, I need a hit on the client. Base character 3. Yeah, it's like it was using the old actor. But how's that possible? Should be destroyed. Yeah, I just don't think I've ever seen this bug happen before. Weird. There's no shot that this actually fixes it though. Specifying this should be implicit. Yeah, I don't see this making a difference. A try though. Maybe there's some replication black magic I don't know about. This might be a problem I have to like research. I mean, if this doesn't solve it, I don't think it will though. I'm gonna be honest with you. Going into this one with pretty low expectations of it working. Still using the old character. It's something... I mean, we're setting owner and spawn. That shouldn't be it. But it definitely is using the, it looks like the old actor. Now the weird thing is it immediately fixes itself when we hop onto the listen server and do some action. Christ almighty. I don't know. This is weird. The good news is we're able to replicate the problem, and I'm not crazy because all this happened before, but was just never able to find a way to have it happen so frequently. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I might call it here and jump into seeing what this issue is. Maybe it's just a play and editor thing, right? But I don't know. I haven't encountered this before, but I really don't want this to be existing any longer. If that makes sense. So what I'll probably do is I will call it here. If I figure it out before the end of the day, I'll be back on to explain what it was and how to fix it, if there is a fix. The next stream probably won't be until, gosh, honestly, Monday, I think. Sunday or Monday. I'm gonna be, not away, but I won't be able to stream next couple days coming up. I'll still be working on the project though. So with that being said, wherever you are, I hope you have a great morning, evening, afternoon, or night, and until Monday or later today, peace.